Today we're going to talk about a system that's been, is about 10 to 15 years old. It's really been developed by the Italians, and I've used it on one building of my own. I've been talking about it for quite some time because I believe that this system is probably one of the most valid, sustainable products on the market today. How does this work? Okay, what do we do to get here? One would recommend that you immediately get involved with a single supplier or maybe two suppliers of ventilated systems. In my case, I worked with the Marazzi company out of Italy, and I did the conceptual design drawings of the building. Provided those drawings to the Marazzi company, who then, in fact, engineered the system. And they engineered the substruct and they engineered the fastening systems for the tile to be applied to the substruct. They made complete shop drawings, which I just inserted into the contract documents for the building. What happens is, if you look at this image, you'll see the entire system is shipped in crates, arriving to the project with these crates, and all of the products are in there. What we do is the masonry wall or the frame wall that you're applying the system to, you apply a insulation barrier to the substrate. And then if you look at those clip angles, the clip angles are applied then through the insulation system into either masonry or a steel frame wall system. The next member that's applied is a vertical framing member. The angled members that you saw previous to this have a slotted hole in it. And that slotted hole allows for the tuning of the building. So in other words, if the substruct is slightly out of plumb, you're able to, with setting these things with a laser, to adjust them to get a completely vertical surface. Once that's done, the next member that goes on is a horizontal member. And the horizontal member also has a slotted hole, so you can tune it in the opposite direction. And you can see to the right of that, the tile hangs on to these channels that are running horizontally. And we can see here, as they're moving along, the channels that are running horizontally, you can see the tiles to the left being inserted onto these channels. As you can see with the system, there's a space between the building itself and the surface, the wall surface of the ceramic tile. And what happens is that it causes a movement of air up as a chimney effect, bathing the interior space with warm air or cool air. And that keeps any of the cold air or the warm air from reaching the mass of the building itself. Here we're looking at a diagram which really becomes self-explanatory after seeing the image that you have seen. Pretty well exemplifies what we're doing with the clip angles and with the verticals, the horizontals, and then putting the tiles on. The cost of the system is in and about competitive with face brick. And we're talking in the vicinity of $25 to $35 a square foot. Again, it might be noted that the larger the tiles are, the less expensive it'll be, because you'll have less substruct members and you'll have less fasteners. Tile industry today makes very large format tiles. They make typically a 2-foot by 4-foot tile. They're now making a 1 meter by 3 meter tile. And obviously, the larger the tile is, the quicker it'll go up and the less expensive it'll be. Another question that I have a lot of times as I make this presentation is who does this? Okay, who applies this to the building? It varies. If you're in heavy union areas, they're going to be determining within the unions as to who does it. In Chicago, the bricklayers do it. And a presentation was done about a month ago in Chicago, and there were 400 bricklayers that came to a presentation on how to install these kinds of systems. If you go to Indianapolis, it's the storefront or the curtain wall union that applies it. It's probably more apropos for a curtain wall contractor than a bricklayer, but the bricklayers will figure out how to do it. Again, it varies from area to area, and if you're going to be looking into using the system, you should really kind of do some early research on who is going to be installing the system. I come from Arizona. When we did the project in Arizona, it's a right-to-work state, and it was not a problem as to whose jurisdiction it is. Again, as far as the sustainable aspects of it, I'm going to turn that over to Paul to give you some ideas of the advantages of this system.